In Yu-Gi-Oh, what is one thing you don't have compared to Hearthstone? Don't say mana, not mana.
I was going to say mana. That's like the obvious things that there's costs. But what's one thing we don't have? Dignity.
Well, okay, hold on. I don't know if we have that either, so let's relax.
That's fair. That's fair. Card draw. That's a good one.
Okay, let's go with like...
Am I thinking too hard?
Okay, we have classes. Our cards are divided into classes, and there's a neutral pool. Your game is all neutral. You can put whatever you want in your deck and have fun. Even
because our game's better. That's why. Yeah. Okay.
Listen. Oh my God, so angry over there with your Yu-Gi-Oh players. Today, your job is going to be to guess what class a card is from using all of the tools that you've gathered across all of the videos we've done. Now
we've done a lot of them.
CGV has done this video already.
Okay.
I think
I've not watched it. I have not seen it. I don't think it's live.
It's not live yet. It's not live yet. I haven't posted it. He has classes in his game. He has the colors, and I think he did okay. Your perspective is going to be interesting because you literally don't have that, but we've done enough videos.
Well, we have archetypes though. So if you kind of think about it, archetypes are like classes, but we have like hundreds of them compared to you just having what, 10 classes, 12 classes, something like that.
Okay, well, let's see if these archetypes will help you figure out what card is the class is from.
Great.
Okay. We're gonna start off with a very easy one. We're gonna like easy into this. Okay.
Easy.
No, I swear, bro, if you don't get this first one, I might as well just start the video. Like, you're not getting the rest of these. Like, there's literally no way. Like, I swear to God.
What do you mean? That means you should keep recording if I miss the first one. That's like the video we just did. Same thing.
Don't know if YouTube will allow this to be unposted because of just, it's fine. You know what? Here we go. Here's your first one. You got it.
Promotion. 1 cost, give a silver hand recruit +3/+3 and taunt. Well, if I remember that Paladin has silver hand recruits, I would assume that would be the class that this goes in. But you're going to be like, nope, psych, idiot. There's another class that has silver hand recruits. So I'm going to go with Paladin, my most hated class. And
God, I thought you were going to go with I was going to go with a different class. Wow, congratulations, you did it. I'm so proud of you.
Oh, thank you.
I knew you had it.
That was a tough one. That was a tough one. Did CGB get that one? Did CGB get that one?
You guys have different cards, unfortunately. So
that's lame.
Maybe what I'll do is I'll splice some of the ones that CGB had just so you have some kind of like context to see if you got it or not. Do you think this card was good?
See, that wasn't what we're doing today, though. I thought I was going to have it easy and not have to answer that question.
See, I said this is CGB. One of the great things about doing these types of videos is that I show you cards that you may have not ever seen before because they're just not interesting enough to show in a video.
1 mana for +3/+3 worth of stats and taunt, but you need to specifically have a silver hand recruit, but you basically always have that. So basically this costs 3. Not particularly, like it's fine. Like maybe in arena, if you're playing Paladin, this wouldn't be terrible, but as like actual standard, this seems like kind of slow.
Okay.
But I don't know how old this card is. So I'll go with no.
This card came out in 2022. That's any context.
Okay. It's pretty new. I would go with no, but
you would be 100% correct. Card is absolutely trash.
Okay.
Never saw play. The sad reality of it is like this card only works on silver hand recruits. So therefore, if you don't have one,
if it was any minion, then we're kind of talking.
Ooh, that'd be disgusting.
Serpent Bloom. 0 cost, give a friendly beast poisonous. Well, if we're talking about beasts, Hunter immediately comes to mind. So I will go with Hunter.
You're just doing a fantastic job here. Like this is just
thank you.
perfection.
You're setting me up to fail here. I can't wait.
No. I'm just easing you in. It's not setting up to fail. You were right.
You're so kind. This
is for Hunter. What are do you think this card was playable?
I think this card was good. Basically, this says kill something in battle, right? So you can take something. It has to be a beast, which kind of sucks. You could take like a super small, like 1 cost beast and trade it into something huge. I think it's better than the other card, but it still seems kind of slow. But I could see it being more playable than the other card.
Yeah, I feel like this was more ubiquitous when it came to just deck building. You could easily add this in. It's good discover where promotion just felt bad all the time. This is probably the best description of it. It was like, if you really needed it in your beast deck, you could, but often you're just going to discover it.
I'm waiting for this to get tough. Great. 2 mana, a light in the darkness. Discover a paladin minion. Give it +2/+2. Why would you show me a card that has the paladin text on it?
I don't know. Why would I?
Why would you? I don't know.
Why? I don't know.
This is so because it's like, this is so obvious that it should be Paladin. But then like, why would you show it to me if it has that on it? Like the card looks like a Paladin card. It has the holy text, which I'm pretty sure is like a Paladin like descriptor, or like, I don't know what you guys call it, typing of like the spell. I'll say Paladin.
Okay, before I get to the answer, I just want to say for the sake of this video, by the way, there is never going to be a chance in this video that it's just like a neutral card. Like I'm not doing that, just so you could erase that from your memory. You were right. Sure. This is a Paladin card, by the way.
Okay. Were you trying to trick me with this?
I was going for the psych you out, yes, because it's funny how that one says this like is specifically a Paladin minion. Now, when it comes to Discover, of course, the way that it interacts is that you can only discover stuff from your class, but also the neutral pool. Where in this case, they were like specifically a Paladin minion. Now, the question is, do you think this was good?
Possibly a pretty big tempo. Like if you play this on 2, then like if you get a 3-cost thing that's buffed, like that could potentially be a big swing. And like Paladin cards are always so hard to evaluate because I feel like they're just like, they're not flashy. They're just like efficient. And this to me feels just like an efficient card. I could see this being playable, maybe. I think like out of everything you've shown me, this seems like the most playable of the 3. So sure, I'll say this was playable.
Okay, so this one's interesting because when they did the twist format and then they added the Caverns of Time, they buffed a lot of older cards. So we actually didn't see this at 2 mana. I just got reminded of that.
Okay.
So it was actually 3 mana in Whispers of the Gold God, because I know I'm gonna get a comment that's like, this wasn't actually the mana cost on the right. At 3 mana, sorry, do you think this card was playable?
It seems a lot worse at 3. I'll say no.
You're absolutely correct. The card did not see any play.
Even at 2, did it see play?
So the thing is like in that format, it's hard to tell because it's completely different than like what the standard Wild Gods was. It might have seen play. I feel like with Paladin though, you really wanted to play a 2-drop. Like you wanted a curve. That was what Paladin's biggest thing was. And I think that's the problem with this card.
And you're taking a turn off to play this. I still can't wait till we do the video where we show each other cards from the first video you and I ever did together. And we like are going to just not remember anything. That's going to be the best. That's going to be the best video. Anyway, Peaceful Piper. This is a 1-mana 1/1. Choose one. Draw a beast or discover one. Discover a beast.
Discover a beast. Yep.
So draw a beast means you take a random beast from your deck and it goes to your hand. That's how that works?
Yep.
See, now this is where this is because like naturally... This is like, okay, like obviously I think beast, I think hunter. I'm trying to think of like what other classes even have beasts. Druid might have beast. I could see that. What else? Hunter. Can I get a reminder of all the classes again?
Yeah,
just
sure.
Okay, it's warlock, paladin, hunter, mage, Death Knight, Demon Hunter. I'm at 6. I know I'm forgetting some.
Priest.
Druid, I forget if I said that. Priest. I think I said priest.
Rogue, shaman.
Shaman's another. Ooh, shaman could have beasts. Shaman seems like it would have beasts. This looks like a very druid card. Just like the aesthetic of the Piper. Like she's got like the crown of flowers. Like this gives me druid vibes. And I think this would be one where you try to trick me where it's like, oh, it's a beast. He's going to think it's hunter. I'm going to go druid. I think this is a druid card.
You're basing this based off the art? Is that what I'm understanding?
Correct.
Okay, interesting.
Am I right?
You are right. This is for Druid. I'm actually not trying to trick you whatsoever. The only class in the game up until the most latest expansion only had choose one. That was Druid. There was no Bay here.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
That's the only class.
You said, oh, well, in that case, then you said like, oh, that should be a freebie then. By your definition, you're like, oh, no other class had choose one.
And yet you were struggling. So I don't know. Maybe
and I still got it right. So there you go.
Oh my God, he's so angry today, man. My God.
I'm telling you, the art gave it away. And this doesn't look like a hunter or a shaman card. Emerald Bounty. 2 mana, draw 2 cards. You can't play them for 2. Oh, me. There's like nothing with this. Oh God. Okay. Draw 2 cards. You can't play them for 2 turns.
Okay, so I'll give you slight hint here. Slight hint. Think about what I've said about card draw for classes.
That's what I was going to, because card draw I have learned from your game is not equally distributed. Some classes have tons of card draw, some don't have a lot of card draw.
Yes.
I'm trying to think what would be like. I'm shocked this is in your game because you have 3 mana draw 2 cards for like mage and stuff, but you have 2 mana draw 2 cards, but you can't play them for 2 turns. Like what?
Okay, before you even evaluate the class, this playable in Yu-Gi-Oh?
Would this be playable in Yu-Gi-Oh? That's an interesting question. When it says you can't play them for 2 turns, that means like you can't physically put them from your hand onto the board, right?
Yeah, I actually don't know the interaction of like saying your opponent like pulls it out of your hand. I think it would get pulled, but
Okay,
you can't click the card and put it on the board. Yes, that's the way.
Because I'm thinking like if you could draw 2, but like you could still like pitch the cards to the graveyard and then the graveyard effects trigger and such, that could be playable potentially. There are decks that like you could take advantage of something like this, but I feel like for the most part, this would be a pretty tough sell. This is a very interesting design for Yu-Gi-Oh though, because typically our draw 2s have like huge like drawbacks, like banishing 10 cards off the top of your deck to draw 2, right? Like in theory, that doesn't really affect you because you would never see those cards anyway. But if there are pieces of your deck that you need to stay in your deck, like you can't play that draw 2 in every single deck that you play. So like that's a problem. I'm trying to think like what archetype or what class would say like you can't play the cards for 2 turns. Like that just seems like such a weird piece of text for your game.
It is an interesting card. I'll tell you that. If you get this, I'll be very impressed.
I'm trying to think of like what classes had little card draw, because like Mage has plenty of card draw, Rogue has plenty of card draw, Demon Hunter had good card draw, I think. I'm not as familiar with like the newer classes.
I will confirm with you that Demon Hunter has a good card draw. You don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, because I just remember from videos we did that there was like some decent cards you showed me.
They are good at that. That is one of their qualities.
I'm almost tempted to say this is Druid again, because I feel like Druid didn't have good card draw. It had like ramp, but it didn't have like good card draw. And then like again with this being like a bounty, this just like gives me Druid card vibes. And like if you're ramping and you can't play for 2 turns, then like you don't care necessarily, because maybe you draw into like a big thing, but you're just like ramping to get into the big thing. Wow, this is tough. Shaman, maybe. I'll go Druid.
Okay, final answer.
Yeah, I'm struggling to think of like where else this would fit, and that's like the only thing that makes sense to me. I'll try that.
This one is more about if you could remember like from all the videos we've done what classes had the worst draw, especially in the early days. Druid is not it. Druid actually has a lot of really good draw. Like Nourish is like one of the best examples. They had Ancient Lore and Classic from, we did the video like, was a card
Nourish
banned?
lets you can either draw or get mana crystals,
Druid
right?
has always had good draw.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
This card is Shaman.
It was Shaman. That was going to be my second guess.
Yeah,
okay.
Shaman throughout Hearthstone's life cycle has always had this weird draw. Like they don't really get the draw too much. It's I guess it's like scary to design the class for it. I'm not really sure. I didn't ask you, did you think Peaceful Piper was a good card?
I think it's a decent 1-drop. Like it's fine.
Yeah, it's making great response. It was a good 1-drop. It was playable.
Yeah, it seems good.
Beast, good card. Okay, Emerald Bounty.
You get a card like for Shaman. Okay, now that I know it's Shaman, I kind of makes sense that it's Shaman too, because I was thinking like how Shaman overloads, so that like sort of precludes you from playing. So it's like kind of like Shaman-ish.
The flavor text for this card is actually hold on, it's something really funny. Hold on. Overgrowed and then to like the overload thing. That's what they said. So it is like a reference to like the overload thing. You were so right.
Like if you're overloading yourself, there's no way this was playable. There's no shot.
You're right.
Like if you tell me like every Shaman deck was playing this, like I'll be shocked.
This card has been introduced this set.
Okay, so it's new.
So we've gotten enough time at this point to see if it's been playable. It's not playable. I think if they made it, you can't play it for 1 turn, then we have a conversation. In Hearthstone, 2 turns.
2 turns is a lot.
It's a lot. It is a lot.
Or maybe if it's like draw 3, you can't play for 2 turns or something like that. Maybe. Okay. Submerged spacerock. 2 mana 2/2 Death Rattle. Add 2 arcane mage spells to your hand. They are temporary. Here we go again with you putting the class in the actual card to like possibly mess with me. Great. Because like naturally it's like, okay, it's an elemental. It gets mage spells. Like it meets all the requirements. So like, why would it be something else?
Maybe it's just a mage card.
Maybe it's just a mage card. Like, it seems like it'd be a mage card. It checks all the boxes. But, like, it could also be Shaman, because Shaman also has elementals, if I recall. I don't know why a Shaman card would add you mage spells. Like, that's a discussion that I don't get, but okay. It's also not... It's tough because it's not like a 50-50. It's like, it's a 1 in 10 for the most part. So that makes it way harder.
You can definitely deduce
infer and, like, you can deduce stuff, yeah, but... Even then, like, then it becomes like maybe a 33%, maybe a 50-50.
I'll give you credit. I think I didn't do this with CGB, or I put like the actual class and like some of the cards.
Yeah, doing that is like fucked up, because it's like, then it's like the mind games are playing into it. If it's like just the generic stuff, like I think that's, I mean, oh my God. I'm gonna go with priest. I think it's mage, but I'm gonna go with priest.
It's mage. It's mage.
Oh, I knew it. God, I hate that. That's so annoying.
Oh my God, that's too funny. Okay.
You're loving this. You're just laughing it up over there.
That's too funny. That is like, that reminded me when I first started doing these videos, and then like people would get so stuck on like whether or not it was good or not just from the previous card. Oh,
this card seems decent though.
Oh,
you're gonna ask me if it's good or not. It seems decent.
I can't remember how good this. I don't think it was very playable. Maybe in Highlander it saw a little bit of play, but for the most part it was like kind of underwhelming.
Right. I think the fact that they're temporary is like holds it back a bit. But if it was Death Rattle, add 2 arcane spells, like that might just be too good then.
The variants of arcane spells in Mage are very high and very low. Like you could get some really good ones. You can also get a lot of really bad ones. So you have to think of like, is it worth adding this to your deck for the potential high roll? Maybe, but for the most part it never was. And because it's Mage specifically, why not you not just put it in your deck?
Tar Lord. I think I remember there was like Tar something in like the original
Creeper
set. So this is a So this is a fun retrain. This is a 7 mana 1/11 that gets +4 attack during your opponent's turn and has taunt. It's an elemental. Wasn't the original Tar Creeper a neutral or was it a class card? And if that gives it away, you don't have to tell
me.
The
original Tar Creeper was a neutral card. This one is a class card.
Interesting. They made it a class card.
They made it a class card. Don't know why. Actually, no, I do know why. And
but you can't say why.
I believe I have showed you the card.
Oh, okay.
I could be wrong about that. I've definitely showed one of you the card, CGV or you. But there is a real reason why
that's
they
the other problem, right? Is you have to remember what you've shown each of us. That's a whole
that is fair.
Discussion.
That is fair.
What would want this? Something that wants to play very defensively, but it's an elemental. Does that matter? Because like, okay, I'm thinking like warrior. But like warrior, I don't think plays elementals, but like I could see warrior wanting like a wall like this potentially.
I'm gonna help you out here. I'm gonna help you out here before you go on a tangent on this. This is from Ungoro, which meant the whole set was dinosaurs and what was the creatures inside the Ungoro crater. One of the types in the Ungoro crater is elemental. So in this particular case, I would ignore the elemental deck.
Okay, because like anything could have elementals for this set, is what you're saying.
Yes.
Okay. Just because it's like it has like a big health, it's taunt, and like warrior's trying to like always like warrior likes taunt stuff. It likes to like slow the game down. From my understanding of it, obviously.
Okay.
And like I could see it in priest or warlock, just because it's like priest could like heal it to make it super annoying. Warlock wants to not die because you're doing all the card draw where you're losing life. It's like I'm between those 3 classes if I had to pick. But I don't know. Warrior, for whatever reason, stands out to me. So I'll go with warrior. And if I'm wrong, so be it.
No, you're correct. It is warrior.
Really?
Reason,
I can't believe I got it.
the real reason for this was they made the quest in Ungoro for warrior play taunt minions. And this was like another inclusion into it.
Oh, sure. So they did play this?
No.
Oh, okay. I'm like, wow, they actually played this just for that. That seems ambitious. Okay.
This card was discovered because there was a card called Stonehill Defender, which would discover you a taunt minion. And because that was like a really good minion to add to your deck for the warrior, because they gave you 2 taunt minions for the price of 1, it was played throughout that time. The problem with this card is like 7 mana for a card that doesn't really push what you're doing. Like your opponent kind of just goes, okay, like whatever. So there's also just better taunt minions in the game. So there's absolutely no reason.
Because Tar Creeper was like 3 mana, wasn't it?
3 mana, yeah, very good card. 3 mana for a 1/5.
Yeah,
but
like,
that was
like
the
stats and the rate seem way better. Yeah. Core Rager, 4 mana 4/4 battle cry. If your hand is empty, gain +3/+3, and it's a beast. Okay, beasts. What do we say about beasts? Hunter has beasts. Druid has beasts. I think Shaman might have beasts. Are we still in a set where like every archetype got beasts, or is that no longer the case?
This was from Blackrock Mountain, which was based on the raid. What is the raid called? It's one of the final raids for Classic World of Warcraft, where they go to where they fight Rag and stuff. So this is one of the mobs you would find in there. I can't remember the name. It's eluding me at the moment. But yeah, this is one of the mobs in there. So this has nothing to do with like the type. You could consider the typing like important here, but it's not like Ungoro, where Ungoro was like elementals and beasts were everywhere. This was kind of like its own thing. I don't know how else to describe it. I would say that class matters in this case for this one. That's how I would describe it. I kind of just circled around it.
Which class would care about your hand being empty? Maybe Hunter, because like Hunter's like notoriously aggressive. So like you're emptying your hand and then you get to play this guy and he's a 7/7 because you don't have a hand. Warlock, I feel like you're always drawing cards unless you're playing like a very aggressive Warlock deck. But like I don't think Warlock would play Beasts. Druid, this feels like not really like a Druid card. Shaman. This card like looks kind of like a Shaman card, just like art wise, but does Shaman care about having an empty hand? I want to say this is a Hunter card just because of like the way it's designed, but like it doesn't look like a Hunter card. Just like the art, I feel like doesn't go. It's like the art screams Shaman, but the effect screams Hunter. I guess I'll go with Hunter. That's like my first instinct, but like it just doesn't look like a Hunter card. I think this is like, I want to say it's Shaman. Mechanically, it seems more like a Hunter card to me. I remember Shaman had the 4-mana 7/7. So is that what this is? Is this like the replacement for that?
Okay, so hold on. The 4-mana 7/7 came after this card. This was before it. So I would not say it's the replacement for it.
But maybe that was the replacement for Core Rager.
This is the test for it to see if this was
the test. Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
exactly.
Sure.
You know,
sure.
fuck it. I'll say Shaman. I'm gonna say Shaman.
I really like that logic. It's the 4-mana 7/7 out of nowhere. That was very interesting. This is not Shaman. It was Hunter.
Fuck.
You're very close. You're very close.
I should have gone with Hunter. I literally said I was going to go with Hunter. And then I'm like, oh, Shaman. This doesn't look like a Hunter card. I'm sorry.
It's interesting how the art is what you're basing this off of. So I think in some cases, the art might be misleading. Again, this one was intentionally.
It is misleading. I'm learning that it's misleading. Yes. I need to go off the effect instead of the art.
Yeah,
yes,
I think for this one in particular, like it's very intense. Wait, for Druid?
No, I mean like with the Piper card.
Oh,
the art works
okay.
for Druid in that sense. That's what I meant.
Yeah, this one because it was like intentionally designed to be a part of like Blackrock Mountain and like that whole raid. I think they just wanted to make it as close as it can to what the actual mods look like in Warcraft.
Yeah, but the effect seems very Hunter.
So this one was probably the design here was like they have a lot of face cards. Hunters usually going face. They're emptying their hand. So this is like the top end that you hope you draw into, and then it's a 4-mana 7/7. And do you think this card saw play?
No.
It did not. You're entirely right.
I feel like it's too slow. This is Splintergraft, 8-mana 8/8 battle cry. Choose a friendly minion, add a 10/10 copy of your hand or to your hand that costs 10 of a friendly minion. This is undead. Okay. What's going to have some undead stuff?
So reminder here. This is an older card. Retroactively, they went back and added the undead tag to stuff when they added Death Knight. So in this case, ignore the undead stuff because the only real class that would have it is Death Knight, but this is not a Death Knight card. I'll let you know right now.
Really? Like Warlock and Priest wouldn't have undead stuff? Or are you saying like just situationally when this was released?
Situationally they would. Like, don't get me wrong, like there's probably undead for Priest and Warlock back in the day as well.
But it didn't exist yet.
It didn't exist. So in this case, like maybe for future videos if I do this again, I'll just ignore the type if it's not relevant whatsoever. But in this particular case, just ignore it. Like I don't think you need to worry about that.
Okay. Well, that makes it harder because I thought the undead tag would make it easier.
Okay, do you want to consider? If you want to consider, go for it. Whatever.
Well,
I'm just telling you,
it doesn't help.
It won't help you regardless.
Right, exactly. You're like ignore it. So I'm like, okay, well I guess maybe that tells me that it's not in the classes that I would think it would go in.
Yeah, I'm helping you like inversely. Like you're
sure. That's a way to put it. Yeah, sure. Choose a friendly minion, add a 10/10 copy to your hand that costs 10. I feel like Priest sort of does weird stuff like this. I could also maybe see an argument. If I'm ignoring the undead tag, I could maybe see Druid. This kind of looks like a Druid card, like if you squint, because it's like wood, It's like an undead Druid card. I don't know if that's a thing, but like, sure.
Okay.
That's like immediately what comes to mind. It's like between those two. Try to think, what other class could this fit in? What else would you want to choose a friendly minion and add a 10/10 copy of it to your hand? So you said Death Knight is not out yet at this point, so I can ignore that?
Death Knight, this is from Witchwood, which was 2018. So Death Knight's not until 2021.
Okay, so that's okay. Ignore that.
You got a lot of time. Yeah.
What about Demon Hunter?
2022, actually.
This doesn't give me Demon Hunter vibes.
Demon Hunter came out in 2020 as well. So yeah, you're good. You're good.
Okay, so ignore those. Okay. Original 9. Okay. I think Rogue might do stuff like this. That seems like a stretch. Because like Rogue does like weird stuff where it like adds copies of things, doesn't it?
Okay, yeah, that's completely fair.
Yeah,
fair.
Yeah, like I think it's a stretch for this card. Like this doesn't give me rogue vibes, but like it could. Let me see. You showed me a hunter card, a warrior card, a mage card, and a shaman card, and a druid card. So you're showing me, so far you have not shown me a duplicate of anything. So if I go based off the logic that if you're going to show me stuff from different classes, you have not shown me a priest card yet. You have shown me a druid card. So I will go with that this is priest based off of that.
Are you sure you want to go off the logic that I'm showing you cards from different classes? Are you absolutely sure?
It's that or druid. It's that or druid. And if I'm wrong, I'll take the L, but I think maybe you're picking one from each class. And so maybe this is a priest card.
It's druid.
So, final answer. Fuck! So many times I'm like, I have the right answer, and I can walk into the brick wall of the wrong answer. That's 3 times I've done that. Oh my god.
Yeah, so this is a weird, this expansion is really funny. Before I tell you about like why this is for druid specifically, at least in my opinion, what do you think of this card?
On the surface, I'm not a fan because like you need a minion on the field to do this, and then it costs 10. So I'm not a fan. I don't think it's like particularly good.
I would 100% agree with you. This card did not really see any play. The only funny thing I can think of is Stone Tusk Boar costs 1 mana, so you can go.
Oh, that's cute. That's
and then
cute.
you have a 10 mana 10/10 charge, which was probably like the dream, but realistically, like that was never really relevant. So this card never saw play. So the funny thing about this expansion in particular is that Druid has been dominant for so long at this point that I almost feel like the 2 legendaries they printed during the Witchwood were just horrible for Druid, and this was one of them because they wanted to give them cards that were not playable. But
that's the other reason I didn't think it was Druid. I'm like, oh, this isn't as broken as Druid should get as it deserves, but.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
It was not very good. Druid was still very good.
I'm giving myself half points because I'm getting like it down to the 50-50.
Okay, whatever helps you sleep at night. All right, what about this one? What about this one?
Messenger Raven, 3 mana, 3/2, battle cry, discover. Fuck. Really? We're doing this again?
I wanted you to know that this was like preemptively here before any of this video was recorded. I had all these lined up. I had all these lined up.
Yeah. Whatever you say. It's also a beast, which is kind of annoying. But why would like Hunter want to discover a mage minion? That seems like so bad. How many times I'm going to walk into the brick wall, Rarran? How many times?
I don't know. I have to keep rebuilding it. Could you stop?
Apparently. Yeah. Why would another class want a mage minion? Like, that just doesn't make sense. Like, why?
There's some spicy mage minions.
Yeah, but you have to discover them.
Yeah,
it's not like you guarantee the one you want. Like, just play mage at that point.
What if you wanted Archmage, Antonidas, and Druid so you can go innervate?
I don't know what that means, but also, like, just play fucking mage at that point. I'm just gonna say it's mage. I can't take the bait.
Have I not showed you Tony? Have I not shown you that card? There's no shot I haven't shown you Tony. Maybe I have.
I think you showed me Tony. Yeah.
Are you going?
If I remember, it's a difference. Is that the one that switches the decks or whatever?
That's a different Tony. Archmage Antonidas was after you cast a spell, get a fireball in your hand.
Okay.
So
just play mage. I'm saying it's mage. Whatever. I don't care.
Final answer.
Yes, final answer. Tell me I'm wrong.
You're right. You got it. I'm so proud of you.
You're lying.
It's mage. I swear. Look.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's right here. Oh god. Okay, I showed this one to Steve GB. Let's hear what you have to say.
Flare. 1 mana. All minions lose stealth. Destroy all enemy secrets. Draw a card. Interesting. Okay. Immediately, I don't think this is rogue because I don't know why you would want to lose your own stealth, and that seems like a very stealthy deck.
Okay.
So still original 9, right? I ignored the other 2.
This is original 9. Yeah. Yep.
Okay. What deck would care about making minions lose stealth and destroying secrets is interesting. Okay, so what classes have secrets? Mage has secrets. Paladin has secrets.
Correct.
Hunter, I think, had secrets too.
Correct.
Is that it? Do I get to know that? Am I forgetting one?
There is one more class, which is Rogue. I'll just tell you.
Okay, Rogue had secrets? I don't remember that.
I don't know if I've showed you. I will say Rogue didn't get secrets until later on.
Oh, okay.
But Rogue does have secrets.
Okay. So I feel like even though it destroys enemy secrets, this seems weird to have like in a deck that would naturally play secrets. I'm trying to think like what would care about making stuff lose stealth. If you're wanting stuff to lose stealth and you're trying to get rid of the secrets, you care about like board. Warrior maybe might like this. This doesn't give me Warlock vibes. Even though Hunter has secrets, I could see Hunter liking this card because it kind of like because it's so aggressive and a lot of like secrets trigger on attack, I think like Hunter, even though they play the secrets, they might not care about, they actually might like this card. Paladin is also kind of like board focused. I don't get priest vibes from this. I think I'm between like, I also really don't get druid vibes from this either. I think I'm between hunter and warrior for this.
What's the reason for warrior?
A warrior, I feel like, is like it can be aggressive.
Okay.
And so like, and it's like, it also cares about like minions on the board. And so if you make everything lose stealth and destroy secrets, you can like get in with, like, I'm thinking of like what the aggro archetypes are. And obviously like every class can be aggressive or control or mid-range or whatever, but I feel like some lean like one way versus the other. I'm gonna go with Hunt. I feel like it's the deck that cares the most about all of this. So I'm gonna go with that. Yeah.
Okay. Before I tell you how good it was, what did you think about Messenger even? Do you think that was played?
Oh,
I keep forgetting.
We just forgot. You're just so excited. I think it's fine. I think it was like, it probably saw some play. I don't know if it was like the best 3-drop you could be doing, but it seems okay. It replaces itself, gets like a minion, like sure.
During that time, it actually saw a decent amount of play, especially in Highlander Mage. Highlander Mage was actually a pretty good deck.
Decent, like, yeah, it seems decent. Yeah, I don't think every mage deck would play, but I think it saw some play.
Yeah.
Do I think Flare saw play? Oof.
Before you answer that, let me explain. It was a hunter card. You're absolutely correct.
It was. Holy shit! I'm gonna
tell you right now. CGB, the way that he evaluated this was he asked me, or he confirmed what classes had secrets, and he said, why would a class that has secrets want to play this? Those were almost his exact words. So he didn't even think hunter. So good job.
Yeah, I thought about it because I was thinking the same thing, but then I was thinking about like what class would care for an effect like this. And even though hunter has secrets, like it seems like a very hunter card at its core.
Yeah, so I think the flavor really hits hunter. So I 100% agree with you.
Yeah.
Knowing that it's hunter, do you think this card was played?
It's so specific is the problem because against a bunch of decks, this doesn't do anything. So I feel like in a very specific metagame, maybe it was teched, but I don't think it saw play otherwise.
This card was Giga Broken, got nerfed to 2 mana.
Are you serious? What the? Why?
What? Okay. The all minions lose stealth virtually did not matter. The only reason this was really in the game was because Rogue had Conceal at the time, and Conceal stealths all their minions, so that would actually matter in some instances.
Sure.
Destroying all enemy secrets, very good card, especially in the mirror match, but also against Mage because of Ice Block. It mattered a lot in that matchup. But the main reason is, and no other class had this in Classic especially, was a 1-mana draw card.
Oh, so it's just they use it for the cycling, basically.
It was cycling.
You don't even care.
Yeah, cycling, but the Secrets thing did matter. The Secrets thing was very relevant. Very good card.
So you can just play this card without your opponent having stealth or secrets and just cycle it for a card, is what you're telling me. So that's really interesting because in Yu-Gi-Oh, it wouldn't work that way. In Yu-Gi-Oh, it would be like, you have to like there has to be like a stealth minion or there would have to be a secret for you to use this card. You wouldn't be able to just use it for the draw effect. So that's very interesting that you said that.
In Hearthstone, it often would say like, if this parameter is met, then do this. But because each individual thing is its own sentence, it doesn't look at any requirements or prerequisites before playing the card. So that's why it matters.
Yeah, no, Yu-Gi-Oh, that's very different. Interesting.
Yeah, they nerfed this to 2 mana because it was too good.
That's insane. That's crazy.
At 2 mana,
was it still played at 2?
I'm trying to remember if it was. Like the thing is like Hunter kind of adapted through that. Hunter was like, we talk about Rogue and Druid being like, Rogue, Druid, and Warlock were like the winners of Classic, and Hunter was like always there. I think Hunter just adapted without Flare because they just got more damage and they didn't care.
Okay, we're doing better. We're doing better. Rangari.
Sure.
How do you pronounce that?
Sure.
Scout, 1 mana, 1/2. After you discover a card, get a copy of it. And it's a Draenei, whatever the that is. I guess that means you're blue.
That Draenei is like an alien species, as far as I'm concerned. Also, I will say that DK and Demon Hunter are in the game.
That's like so hard because like I just have like no experience with those classes whatsoever. So if it's one of those, I'm gonna get cooked. But hopefully that's just
okay. I'll just help you out. It's not either one of those classes, just to make it work.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I didn't put any DK or Demon Hunter cards in here.
I think that's for the better with my knowledge of this game. I think that's for the better. Discover. Some cards is there an archetype that doesn't discover? I keep saying archetype. Class is what I mean. Is there a class that doesn't discover? I'm pretty sure like Druid discovers, Mage. I feel like all classes discover.
In this point in the game, every class discovers.
Great. Yeah. Thank you. I thank you for the help.
You're
that
so
narrows
welcome.
It down.
You're so...
So this could be anything then. Like this could be literally anything.
I mean, I'm not going to give you any hints. I think you have enough here to figure it out.
Really? I feel like Flare was a bit more obvious than this. After you discover a card, get a copy of it. Rangari Scout.
Okay, what classes would have a scout?
I don't know. Any of them could have a scout. Like, what do you mean who would have a scout? Any of them could have a... That doesn't tell me anything. I'm like, maybe to Hearthstone people, that's like obvious.
Okay. Let's look at the art. What are they doing?
We're going vibes based off the art again. Oh,
I'm just trying to.
That's worked well for me so far.
I'm trying to push you in the right direction here. if you feel like it could be any class.
You're trying. It's obviously not working. Okay. The art. What vibes am I getting off the art here? I don't know. It looks like he's like biting his finger and like kneeling. That like.
Okay, hold on. Here's the full art.
Is he scouting? He's probably scouting.
Here's the full art. Here's the full art. Now you can get a better look.
Yeah, he's scouting. Crazy considering he's a scout. Weird.
What is he looking at?
I mean, I guess he's looking at like footprints.
Okay, awesome. What class would be involved of tracking footprints? Scouting for footprints.
I mean, that could be Hunter, potentially.
Okay.
But would you show me another Hunter card right after you just showed me a Hunter card? That's like when we get into those mind games. But I have nothing else to go off of, so who the fuck knows, right?
Okay, it's Hunter. I'm just gonna...
Is it Hunter? Oh, thank you. Okay,
it is.
Great.
It is. Let's go. It's fine. It's fine. You have 2 more cards for the reference, okay?
Okay.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
Good. I weaseled the answer out of him, ladies and gentlemen, so I got a free point.
I just wanted to save you from suffering on nothing.
Swiftscale Trickster, 4 mana, 2/2. Battlecry. Your next spell this turn costs 0, and this is a Naga. Do I care about the Naga tag, or do I ignore it?
This set was Voyage into the Sunken City. A lot of classes got Naga, so you don't have to worry about it.
Okay, so ignore it. Okay, that doesn't help. I wish you said yes, because then that makes my job a lot easier.
If I said yes, what class are you going for? If I said yes, what class has Nagas?
Okay, so I remember like there's the Murlocs, and like Murlocs I think are only in certain class. There might be some generic ones, but I think like some classes did like focus on Murlocs, if I recall. So like that was going to be the route that I was going to take.
Okay.
I don't remember. I think there was a Naga card in Classic or like in one of the first sets. I think it was generic though. I don't think it was in like a certain class. I don't remember if it was good or not.
There was a Naga card. It was fine, but it wasn't actually a Naga until this expansion came out. So it wasn't neutral as well.
The tags yet.
Yeah,
right.
it wasn't neutral as well. So that's what I'm saying. Like you probably don't need to focus on it.
This one, its next spell costs 0. So classes that focus on spells. All classes have spells, but some care more about spells than others. So I think like mage, I think like priest, maybe shaman. Like I could see shaman potentially. I don't think this doesn't really scream warrior to me. This doesn't really scream hunter to me. This also doesn't really scream paladin to me. Also, is this rogue?
Are you guessing
your next
that?
spell costs 0. I'm thinking rogue actually. It is like trickster seems like a rogue type of, if we're going based off titles, like fucking scouts. Trickster seems like it would be like a rogue type of thing. And make your next thing cost 0. Like, doesn't rogue have things that make things like you return it to your hand and it costs like 0 or something like that? I'll go rogue. Screw it. We haven't said rogue for any of these yet. Let's go rogue.
Final answer.
Final answer.
You are correct. It was rogue.
Woo! See, reading the title worked.
Reading the title worked. I didn't ask you what you thought about Rangari Scout. What do you think of it? Good or bad card?
I think if you play, it's in Hunter, you said?
Hunter, yeah.
I think Hunter has a decent amount of Discover stuff. Even later on, you just drop it and you play some Discover stuff. It gets value. I think it's fine. I don't think it was like every deck was playing it, but I think it was good.
This card is very, very good in Hunter.
Okay.
It has a lot of utility. There's obviously Hunter has a card called Tracking, which is from Classic, which lets you now discover a card from your deck. So you got 2 copies. Any Discover, there's a lot of really good Discover things. They also got a legendary in the set that they released in that turns your hero power into Tracking. So every turn you got multiple.
Ooh, that's cool.
The fact that it's 1 mana and it's that versatile, it almost is like a must kill card. You kind of need to kill it. Like there's so many ways to utilize this card's very good. Okay, Trickster.
Okay.
What do you think of that card?
4 mana for a 2/2. Makes your next thing cost 0. Spell specifically costs 0. I don't know, like, expensive spells in Rogue. Like, Rogue can take stuff, though, too. He seems kind of pricey, though. But he is, like, you're, like, paying it up front to discount something. Doesn't, Rogue has, what, Sprint? It's, like, 7 mana, draw 4.
Yes, they do have Sprint, yeah.
So, like, Right, so you could go like 4 mana, play Trickster, and then draw 4 on like your 4th turn or something like that. That seems okay. It's like one of those things where it's like so contextual on the other spells that you have. So I want to say it's like not very good.
This card was actually like very good, like very playable card.
Really?
Like the fact is you got. I'm not gonna say it's the most broken card in Rogue, but there's a lot of spells that you could generate and stuff that would just allow you to just pop off this card. And the fact is you could Shadow Step it and then you have a 2 mana to do the exact same thing again is pretty gross. In Wild right now, like obviously we're not considering Wild for like reviews and stuff, but it is very good. Like it is a very good card.
Okay.
It enables a lot of.
I just thought maybe it's like too reliant on the other spells that you have costing 0.
That's fair, but it's like I almost feel like even if I got a card that said 4 mana to discount the next spell to 0, and I only got like a 4 mana spell or 5 mana spell, like I wouldn't be that upset by it because the fact is you could Shadow Step it, and that's what Rogue likes to do. Okay, this is your last card. Good luck.
Oh God. Announce Darkness. 2 mana, replace your hero power and non-warlock cards with warlock ones. They cost 1 less. Replace your hero power and non-warlock cards with warlock cards, and they cost 1 less.
So every non-warlock card in your deck gets transformed into a warlock one, and then your hero power becomes life tap. Your hero power is now 1 mana, and every card in your deck is the cost -1.
Okay.
And that's the card.
Okay, so it's not warlock. Because what the fuck would be the point of that?
All I'm gonna say is if you can get this card, I don't care about the rest of these. You win this. You win this. Well,
now the pressure's on. Now
if you can pull this shit out, I'd be continue. I'm sorry, go for it. I don't want to say anything else. Let you cook.
What the hell would play this? Do I care about the tag of it being Shadow?
That is an interesting question. I'm gonna say for the context of this, yes.
Shadow. What would play Shadow?
Just every like Hearthstone player right now currently is like, what the fuck?
All I know is that like just at face value, it's not Warlock. Because obviously, like, why would you play this in Warlock? That doesn't make any fucking sense.
Well, you could.
No, go ahead. Go. What were you gonna say? Go ahead.
You go neutral Warlock. You play this, and now you're Warlock.
Oh, crazy! Wow. I can maybe play a good deck. Crazy. What is like going on in the art, by the way? Like, are we on like
he's announcing darkness
on vacation?
Yeah, you're on vacation.
Announcing darkness on vacation. He's got like a lay. He's drinking like a I don't know what out of the skull.
This set was Perils in Paradise, which was an entire set based on a vacation resort.
Great. That's very helpful in this exact situation.
Okay. I'm gonna help you out. I'm gonna help you out here, okay?
Are you? I find that highly doubtful.
No. You better listen. This is I'm gonna help you out here. The main mechanic of Perils in Paradise was called the tourist mechanic. I've never shown you these cards because it's just too many cards to go through. But the point of a tourist mechanic is to allow you to play class cards from a different class using the tourist. Not every class. So for example, if you're Mage got the ability to use the Druid class cards for this expansion. They have the Druid Tourist.
Okay.
So when they designed the cards for this set specifically, they not only designed them for the class that they were supposed to be a part of, they also have to think about how the class that they're going to give the Tourist to would synergize with those cards. For example,
boy, that's super helpful. Very helpful.
Hold on. The reason why that is relevant is because you should think about the very first reaction you had to this card.
Huh? What? The guy on the art looks like a paladin.
Okay.
So like if I go based off the art, there is a world where I just say it's paladin and like paladin's replacing everything.
Okay. You know what? I like that, Cook. I can see that because paladins for announcing its darkness, which means that would make sense.
Right, because they're like usually like all holy and devout, right? And they're like that's what they're doing.
Okay, I can see that.
This is also because it's Shadow. I'm getting like priest vibes, maybe.
Okay, yeah, priest does have shadow spells. Okay.
I don't know what else has maybe like Warlock has shadow spells, but that doesn't make any sense. Maybe Mage has shadow spells, but I'm not sure.
Warlock has shadow spells. I don't believe Mage has shadow spells. They might have one. Hold on, I'll double check for you. But
okay, if you're saying they have one, I'm not really like ruling that one as a possible thing.
I'm just gonna confirm.
I think I'm between priest and paladin at this point. And if I've learned anything from this video, it's that I have to go based off the text and not the art. So if I'm going to go based off the text and that it's a shadow spell, I don't think priest has shadow spells. Or I'm sorry, I don't think paladin has shadow spells. They might, but as far as I know, I can't think of one because I don't have a huge knowledge of the card base of this game.
Okay.
So I'm going to go and say that it's Priest because it's a shadow spell specifically. And I also think you showed me a card that was like similar to this, but it was like the opposite. I think it was like a Warlock card, and you get like a bunch of Priest shit. So this would be like the opposite of that. I think I'm vaguely recalling because I think you put it in the thumbnail because I was like way off and I thought the card was broken or whatever.
That card is called that card's called Renounced Darkness. That was a Warlock card that replaced all your hero power and class cards to a different class other than World.
Oh, so it was a different class, period. You get to pick. Okay. I think I have to go with the fact that it's a shadow card and that it's Priest. And if I'm wrong and it's Paladin and I got the second best thing again, like so be it. But if I've learned anything, the text supersedes the image. So I'm going to go with Priest and pray.
Okay, are you sure?
You're laughing and giggling over there. So
it's Warlock.
It is Warlock.
Yes.
Why?
The very first thing I'm going to explain. The very first thing you said when you saw this card was, it can't be Warlock.
Sure.
It can't be Warlock. The reason why this is a Warlock card is because they designed it with the Taurus in mind with Rogue. Rogue got Warlock cards. And I mentioned earlier in this video that Rogue likes to copy, steal, thief their opponent's class. So the point of this card as a Rogue is to announce your darkness to become a Warlock. But it's a Warlock card because it's their tourist and it's a shadow.
That's fucked up.
Cinema.
Absolute cinema. Yeah, I was never getting that. I would never think that this was a Warlock card. That was not on my radar.
That's fair. I was trying to guide you to it by saying like, think about what you said.
Now that you said it, I get it. But yeah, I was never going to say this was a Warlock card.
That one's tough. But that's why I said at the start of this, if you get this, I'll be shocked.
That's why you also saved it for the end too.
Yeah, that's why I did it.
That's good.
Okay, well, I mean, this was great. I had so much fun.
You're going to do this again. You had way too much fun with this. This is the hardest I've heard you laugh in I don't know how many videos we've done together.